Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo. Welcome to my scrapbook table. I'm using my November Counterfeit Kit, which you can see a photo of here. I did not use leaves today. I used a sticker and papers and some tickets that I created. You can see the tickets there. Here are the 3 photos I'm using. These were taken in Mexico on our cruise in February, and I'm showing you the stickers there that I've pulled out. The Amazing kind of picks up the yellow in that background paper. I used a die that I have to create these tickets, and I didn't have any specific ticket stamps, so I just used a variety of stamps that are kind of mixed media-ish, have some numbers or writing on them, and various inks, and I created my own tickets. And so this one, I don't know which really is my title, the big word amazing, or this one that shows the sign of the ruins that we were seeing. I guess maybe I have 2 titles. That's okay. We were at the Chochoban ruins. This was our 2nd port stop on this cruise. I was able to delete all but one of the random people in this photo. There's a guy there in a red shirt, and for some reason my phone camera wasn't letting me get rid of that person. So I decided I'm just going to overlap these a tiny bit, and voila, he's gone. This layout I created really quickly. Here I decided I wanted to ink up the edges of all these tickets. So this is some frayed burlap, and I just do all those. I don't have you watch all of that. But now they're all done, and I start thinking about where I want to put these. Anyway, I created this layout really early one morning. I had already made the tickets, and I had created that frame style background page and gutted the brown paper and then used that to map my photos. But other than that, I had no idea what I was going to do. We were headed out of town after work that day. So I got up extra early, 6:15, which is pretty early for me to get up now that I'm not teaching anymore. And I had a little while to get it done before I went to work. So this is what I came up with, and I'm really happy with it. I like how everything came together. So here I still wasn't positive what I was going to do with these tickets, but I knew I wanted these running horizontally. And what I thought of, it just came to me, was that while we were on that excursion, we walked around these ruins with our tour guide, but we were always on a path, following him along this path, and he was telling us some things about it. He grew up in this area and had some really great information. I will have another page, or probably another double page layout that I do about those, and I will include some of that in probably typed journaling. But I decided to use the tickets that I had to create a path around my page. And it made sense in my brain, so hopefully it makes sense to somebody else too. And I do have a couple tickets or stickers that I'm adding there, and this is where I had decided I'm going to do a path. So I fit this little piece with 2 tickets in there. For some reason that photo wasn't sticking down very well. And then I put another vertical piece here, and that created a path. Then I was going to do some journaling. First I started with this paper, but it had some little tiny dots on it, and the journaling was not showing up nicely at all. So eventually I pull that up. Here I'm sticking down that amazing. It brings out some of the yellow in that background paper. This one says beautiful, and I tucked it there at the bottom of that photo. This one says it's on my list, and doing something like this had been on my bucket list for a while. And I also add a tiny little one at the top of my journaling block that says to do. Now I had to peel those off when I changed my journaling block to something else. but that worked out okay. So I ended up actually using the same paper that the background page is, but I inked the edges with the same frayed burlap. Here I am doing that. And so it matches nicely, but it still stands out and looks like a journaling block all on its own. So I just wrote, this was a new and exciting experience for us, and wow, were we impressed. It was our first time in Mexico, and to see this type of historical site, it was our first time in Mexico and to get to see this type of historical site, and we were amazed over and over. Now, I had been to Mexico before, way back, in the 80s, when you could just cross over into the border town. I was a kid. I didn't even need any ID. My parents might have had to turn over their driver's license to get in. I don't know. But we had done that. But to be in a different part of the country, I had never done that, and Dan had never been to Mexico. So lastly, I decided to add some sequins, and I just dropped them around and scattered them about that way and then glued them on. So we're coming to the end here. I will have a link in the description box below to both the Counterfeit Challenge blog and the Facebook group. I hope you'll check out what others are doing. This is for the first challenge of the month. And part of that, one of the options for that was to use tickets, which is why I created these. So there are some still shots coming up in just a moment. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really happy that you're here. I would love it if you give me a thumbs up or leave a comment. Have a great day, and I hope that you get to scrapbook something of your own very soon. Bye-bye.